Poland didn't just support Ukraine. Poland changed the war. When Russia expected Ukraine to collapse, something unexpected happened behind the scenes. Poland stepped in, not with speeches, but with weapons, logistics, training, and intelligence. Modern tanks, ammo corridors, NATO-level coordination. Ukraine didn't just survive, Ukraine adapted. Poland's entry helped turn Ukraine into a fast, flexible, unbreakable war machine. This wasn't charity, it was a strategic move that reshaped the battlefield. And the war was never the same again. When Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine, the world expected a short war. Many analysts believed Ukraine would collapse within weeks. The Russian military was larger, better funded, and backed by decades of conventional warfare doctrine. But that collapse never happened. Instead, something unexpected occurred. Ukraine didn't just survive, it transformed. And behind that transformation, one country played a decisive and often underestimated role. That country was Poland. Tonight, we examine how Poland's entry into the conflict reshaped Ukraine's military capability and helped turn it into what many analysts now call an unbreakable war machine. The early days, Ukraine on the brink. In the first weeks of the invasion, Ukraine faced overwhelming pressure. Russian forces advanced rapidly from multiple directions. Kyiv was threatened, supply lines were fragile, ammunition was scarce, air defenses were stretched thin. At that moment, Ukraine needed more than sympathy. It needed speed, access, and trust. This is where Poland entered the picture. Poland did not wait for long diplomatic debates. It acted quickly, decisively, and strategically. Why Poland was uniquely positioned? Poland's importance wasn't accidental. Geography made Poland the natural gateway between Ukraine and the West. But geography alone doesn't explain Poland's impact. Poland also understood Russia in ways many Western capitals did not. Poland's own history, decades under Soviet influence, gave it a clear-eyed view of Moscow's intentions. Polish leadership believed that if Ukraine fell, Poland would eventually face the same threat. So for Poland, supporting Ukraine wasn't charity, it was self-defense by strategy. The logistics lifeline. One of Poland's most critical contributions was logistics. Weapons don't win wars unless they reach the battlefield. Poland became the central artery through which military aid flowed into Ukraine. Ammunition convoys, armored vehicles, fuel supplies, spare parts, maintenance crews. Poland built a logistics network capable of operating under constant pressure. Roads, railways, and air corridors were coordinated at unprecedented speed. Without this infrastructure, Western military aid would have stalled. With it, Ukraine stayed operational. Weapons that changed the battlefield. Poland didn't just move equipment, it supplied it. From tanks to artillery systems, Poland transferred large quantities of Soviet-era equipment that Ukrainian forces already knew how to use. This was crucial. Training time was minimal, deployment was fast. Later, Poland helped Ukraine transition to NATO standard systems, bridging the gap between old doctrine and modern warfare. This combination allowed Ukraine to fight immediately while preparing for the future. Training the war machine. Perhaps Poland's most underestimated role was training. Ukrainian forces were not just given weapons, they were trained to integrate them into a modern battlefield environment. Polish training programs focused on rapid maneuver warfare, small unit flexibility, NATO-style coordination, battlefield communication. The result was a Ukrainian military that became faster, more adaptive, and more lethal. Russia relied on rigid command structures. Ukraine learned to think, move, and strike independently. Intelligence and coordination. Poland also became a bridge for intelligence coordination. While sensitive details remain classified, analysts agree that Poland played a key role in intelligence sharing between Ukraine and Western partners. Early warning systems, battlefield assessments, and logistical planning all benefited from this coordination. In modern war, information is as powerful as missiles. Poland helped ensure Ukraine had both. From defense to adaptation. At first, Ukraine's goal was survival, but with Polish support, that goal evolved. Ukraine began adapting faster than Russia could respond. New tactics appeared on the battlefield. Drone warfare expanded rapidly. Counteroffensives became more precise. This wasn't accidental. It was the result of a system that could learn and adjust in real time. That is what makes a military force resilient. The psychological shift. Poland's entry also triggered a psychological transformation. For Ukrainian forces, Poland's actions sent a clear message: you are not alone. Morale matters. Soldiers fight differently when they believe support will not disappear tomorrow. For Russia, Poland's role sent a different message: this war would not remain contained. Why Russia miscalculated. Russia underestimated Poland. Moscow expected hesitation, fear, and fragmentation among NATO neighbors. Instead, it found resolve and speed. Poland didn't ask for permission to act decisively. It acted because delay would have been dangerous. That miscalculation changed the war's trajectory. By 2024 and into 2025, Ukraine had become something very different from what Russia initially faced. Not just an army, but a system. A system that could absorb losses, replace equipment, adapt tactics, maintain morale. That is what analysts mean when they say unbreakable, not invincible, but resilient. Global implications. Poland's role in Ukraine has reshaped global military thinking. It showed that speed matters more than scale. Logistics decide outcomes. Regional powers can shape wars. Modern warfare rewards adaptability. Other nations are studying this model closely. Final analysis. Poland did not enter the war with headlines or speeches. It entered with logistics, weapons, training, and strategy. And in doing so, it helped transform Ukraine from a nation under siege into a force capable of resisting one of the world's largest militaries. This war is far from over. But one thing is clear: Poland's entry didn't just support Ukraine, it changed the war itself.